Okay, we'll start today's session. In the previous class, we discussed about morphology of design. Morphology of design consists of three phases. First phase is divergence phase. It is also known as explorative phase or exploring phase, in which problem is understand properly. Okay, our need will be defined and it will be communicated properly to the designer, or the designer will try to understand the need as much as possible in a better way. That is about exploring phase or explorative phase. This phase is about understanding need of the customer or understanding the need specified by the company or by the management. Okay, next, the second phase is creative phase. It is also known as transformative phase. In this phase, designer or design team will work on generating as much solutions as possible. Okay, in first phase you will understand the problem, design problem. In second phase, designers are going to generate as much solutions as possible. In the convergence phase, so they are going to eliminate the unworkable, that means not feasible solutions, and they will try to converge the solution. Suppose if they have come up with six solutions, then they try to reduce 6 into 1, okay, based on various aspects. Okay, so they will evaluate economic feasibility, financial feasibility, physical realizability, okay, then available facilities and available technologies, okay, based on various aspects. So they will converge the solutions they thought of into a single feasible solution. Okay, so that is the convergence phase. So in morphology of design, so there are three phases: explorative phase, creative phase, and convergence phase, that we discussed in the previous class by considering an example of a need for a person to travel from Bangalore to Mangalore, that we discussed in the previous class. Okay, in today's class we are going to consider another example. Okay, so related to Project Apollo. So I think you know about Project Apollo. So what is this project about? Hmm? Project Apollo. So who was the first person who landed on moon? What is his name?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong.
Okay, Neil Armstrong. Okay.
Neil Armstrong.
Okay. So you know the name of the person who first landed on moon. Okay, in which year? Yavaga. In 1969. Okay, so in 1969 USA, that is NASA, launched a space shuttle which carried people to moon. Okay, and Neil Armstrong was one among them. So he landed on the moon. Okay, so this was the project. So again, if you consider this as a design problem, the design problem was to send people or astronauts to moon. Okay, so that was the design problem. The name of this project is Project Apollo, the American attempt at landing men on the surface of the moon and bringing them safely back home. Again, it is not only about sending them to moon, so they must be brought back, okay, so alive. That was the intention. That was the aim of the project, to send people to moon and bring them back safely. Okay, this is the general problem statement. Okay, this extensive project was an example of a highly complex design activity undertaken under extreme conditions of uncertainty about almost all aspects of the project. The reason was, so this was the first attempt to send man to moon. Okay, since there is no history about sending man to moon, okay, successfully. There was a lot of uncertainty. That means enough information regarding doing this task was not available at that time. Okay, so that's why lot of uncertainty regarding various aspects of this project. Explorative phase, so that is the first phase. Explorative phase consisted of understanding the various problems involved in achieving the objective. The objective of this project is to send people to moon and bring them back safely. That was the objective. Okay. So if you consider the morphology of design, the first phase is explorative phase. So where you have to understand the problem properly. Okay, you have to understand the need properly. So in the explorative phase, the people who worked on this project, okay, they were able to identify these some of the problems. Okay, the first problem was designing a vehicle which together with the payload could overcome the gravitational pull of the earth and proceed towards the moon. So this was the first problem. Okay, it has to escape from the earth and then it has to reach the lunar, that is moon orbit. Then it has to land on the moon orbit. For that, first step is the vehicle or the rocket or space shuttle that we are going to design. They were planned to design that should overcome the gravitational pull of the earth. Okay, that was the first task. Second, designing a vehicle which can land safely on the lunar surface, that is on the moon surface, and again after some hours, again it has to come back to the earth. Okay, so that means it has to bring the astronauts, okay, so safely to the earth. So devising a system to handle the complex navigational and control problems. Again, navigation means so to how you are able to navigate the vehicle. Okay, so on the moon, or even how you are going to launch the vehicle, which path you are going to choose. Okay, all this comes under devising a system to handle the complex navigational and control problems. You have to get signals from the lunar orbit, also from moon also you have to get the signals. You should know, or they should know, so what is happening in real time. Okay, next, designing the life support system which can help provide a livable environment in coastal space. So again, since this project involve people, okay, so you should create an environment such that they can live in that vehicle. Okay, so these are the problems identified by the people who are working on this project Apollo. Okay, so next, again related to each and every aspect or each and every detail of the project, they followed this morphology of design. That means for every aspect or for every component or every functional requirement of the project. Okay, so they carried out. There were different teams allotted for different works. Okay, so this is one example. This is in this example they have illustrated what are the possibilities that come across. Okay, and finally which one they choose. So this is related to path. Okay, so the path in which this vehicle will take off from the earth and again it will come back from moon to earth. So this is related to path in which the rocket has to, or the vehicle has to travel. Okay. So in the transformation phase, various rocket configurations were thought of. Single and multi-stage rockets with liquid or solid fuels were tried. Many alternatives of the landing vehicle design were suggested. Okay, so there were many permutations and combinations. That means they thought of various possible solutions. Okay, so this is we consider three solutions generated. The people working on finding the proper path. Okay, three alternatives. So if you consider the first alternative, so this is the direct flight. Okay, so this is one solution they thought about. So this is the earth. Okay, consider this as earth and this as moon. Okay, the vehicle, the rocket will be launched from the earth. It may be from the Florida or the launching pad of the NASA. Okay, so from there it took off. Okay, so here, so it is taking off. Then it will at 2. This is the Earth orbit. Okay, it will reach the orbit, then it will revolve in the orbit for some time. Then this is the point where the vehicle will escape from the Earth. Okay, so 3 is the vehicle take off from the Earth. So that means it will escape from the Earth's orbit. Okay, then it has to travel through a path. So this is the circle represents lunar orbit, that is moon orbit. Okay, at 4 it will reach the lunar orbit, lunar orbit or moon orbit. Okay, then it will revolve in the lunar orbit. Then at 5 it will try to take a path where it will land on the moon surface. Okay, so this is the landing position on the moon. And again, after a few hours, okay, astronauts will come out of the vehicle and they will walk on the moon surface. After some time, okay, they will study few aspects related to moon environment. Okay, they will take some required details regarding that. Then again, it has to take off. Okay, so 6 is the takeoff point. Again, the vehicle has to revolve in the lunar orbit. 7 is the point where, okay, so the vehicle will escape from the lunar orbit, that is moon orbit. Again, it will take this path. Then 8 is the point where this vehicle is again re-entering the Earth orbit. Okay, and then it will land on the specified location. This is the first path they thought about. Okay, so they try to use a single vehicle. The problem was again the weight of the vehicle, since this has to once again come back to the Earth surface. Okay, when it come back to the Earth orbit, so there is problem of generation of a lot of heat. Because of that, the vehicle may burn. Okay, so or it may catch fire. It happens for some of the projects. We know some astronauts died while re-entering. Okay, that means when the vehicle comes from space to land. Okay, so Earth, so the vehicle may catch fire and there is problem. Okay, in order to overcome this problem of catching fire when it re-enters the Earth orbit, so proper precautions must be taken. Insulation must be ensured. Okay, so for that a lot of additional weight may be required in order to address this issue. Okay, that was the problem with the first case. Okay, single vehicle, but the problem was the load of this vehicle was huge. Okay, so that will result in various other consequences. Okay, then what they thought of, so they tried to reduce the weight of the vehicle or weight of the rocket. So what they thought of was, okay, instead of having a single vehicle or single rocket, okay, we can have multi-stage rocket, or we can have 2 separate vehicles for lunar surface and for the Earth orbit and for the lunar orbit. Okay, so they thought about having separate vehicles for Earth and for moon. Okay, in this case also the rocket will be launched. Okay, so that is point 1. Then the rocket will reach, or the vehicle will reach Earth orbit. Then 2A, if you can, okay, compare these two. 2A, this is the additional point. Okay, here what happen is, since it is a multi-stage rocket, okay, so there are separate vehicles for Earth orbit and for lunar orbit. So the vehicle, the lunar vehicle is separated from the rocket. Okay, so 2A, the lunar vehicle is separated from the rocket. It will get detached. Okay, then the lunar vehicle will move in this path, whereas the vehicle designed for the Earth orbit, that will take this path. Okay, so here it will detach, and lunar vehicle will take this path, and the vehicle designed for Earth orbit will take this path. Okay, then the lunar vehicle will land on will reach the lunar orbit, then it will revolve and it will be landed on the moon, and again after few hours it will take off from the moon. Again it will revolve in the orbit of the moon, it will came back to land. Okay, or Earth orbit. Okay, so when it reaches the Earth orbit, so here the Earth vehicle, okay, or the vehicle designed for Earth orbit, so it will also move and it will be at this location. Okay. So when the lunar vehicle re-enters the Earth orbit, it will get attached. Once again, it will get attached to the Earth vehicle. So here it will be once again it will be get attached, and then it will land on the Earth. Okay. So in order to overcome the demerit of heavy weight of the vehicle, they thought of having separate vehicle for lunar orbit and for Earth orbit. That was the second solution they thought about. Okay, but finally implemented solution was the last one. Okay, in this case, by realizing the consequences, if something doesn't happen according to your wish, while detachment and reattachment of the these two vehicles, okay, then again there will be a problem. Though it is possible to overcome the problem of heavy weight, if separation of lunar and Earth vehicle doesn't take place properly, then again that will result in failure of the project. So by realizing that, what they thought of, they don't want to take that risk. Okay, instead they thought about again same concept. Okay, that means using a single vehicle, but they thought of various other ways in which they can reduce the weight of the vehicle. Okay, so that was the next step. Okay, instead of having two different vehicles, what they thought of is, once the vehicle reaches the moon, okay, there some part of this complete vehicle, okay, so they designed a separate vehicle for lunar surface, okay, and that will not be brought back to the Earth. Okay, so like that they planned, and again they launched. It will go to the Earth orbit, escape from the Earth orbit, reaches the lunar surface, and the vehicle or the equipment design for moon, okay, that will be detached from this main vehicle. Okay, and it will be landed on the moon. Okay, so then again it will take off. Okay, so then it will come back to Earth surface. Okay, what you should understand is, for every problem, if the design problem is new, okay, many solutions will be thought of based on various aspects. Those solutions, some of the unworkable solutions will be eliminated. Finally, one solution will be implemented. Okay, so this will happen in for most of the new design problems, or whenever you are thinking about a new product, or whenever you are thinking about a new design problem. Okay, so this will happen. Okay, so this was the uh, lunar vehicle. Okay, so which landed on moon. The process of convergence continued till the development was completed and all systems were given operational status. Okay, next topic, the design process, decision making and iteration. Okay, so in most of the design activity, what will happen is, so as a designer, when you want to take decision, the available information may be insufficient, but anyhow you have to make a decision. Okay, out of the available information, you have to make a decision. Okay, then you have to do design. Then when you go for implementation, then only you are going to get additional information. Okay, so after getting additional information, you will revise your design, and then you will go for final designing. So this is in some cases what happen is, since the product is very new, okay, you don't know much details about the product or about the problem. Okay, then based on the available information, you further proceed on the project. You will go for preliminary design. Okay, after doing preliminary design, additional information may be available. Okay, so after proceeding to further stages, then if additional information becomes available, then what you are going to do is, you go for redesigning. You will add this additional information as input and you will redesign. Then you will think about final designing, that is further implementation of the plan. Okay, so this is known as iteration. Okay, the iterative cycle, this is the iterative cycle. It is like a feedback loop. A preliminary design, that is this design, is made based on the available information and is improved upon as much as more and more information is generated. Okay, so the best example for this decision making under uncertainty or with very limited information is the decisions taken by our policymakers in order to fight against the corona pandemic. Okay, our policymakers announced lockdown during March and April. At that time, the number of cases were very less. But now, the cases are in lakhs and every day. Okay, so the cases are even in Karnataka, so every day around 10,000 cases. Okay, so new cases can be seen. Okay, then also they are not going for lockdown. When there were less number of cases, in India, we go for entire lockdown. When the cases are in terms of lakhs, we are not going for lockdown. Okay, what is the reason? Why our policymakers decided to go for lockdown during the month of March, April? Now, even though the cases are in terms of lakhs, why they are not going? Once again, they are not going for lockdown. So, what is your observation? Huh? Why now they are not going for lockdown? Huh? So I can try to answer. Kenjong?
Sir, because of the economy and the livelihood of people, sir, I think.
Okay. So then why they plan to have lockdown during March and April? What was the intention?
To break the chain.
To break the chain.
Yeah.
What was the logic? Do you think there was a logic behind break the chain? Is it possible to break the chain?
No, sir. Right.
Okay. Then why they took the decision? When there is no scientific evidence to prove that with the help of this very strict lockdown, it is possible to drive away the coronavirus from our country or from Earth. Why they go for lockdown during March and April? Okay, any other answers?
So I think it was the best alternative, sir, they found.
Okay, best alternative. Okay. Then why now if the cases are in terms of lakhs, if that is the best alternative, why they are not implementing that alternative now?
Sir.
Puneet K.
Sir.
Puneet. Puneet. Okay, so again, this corona and decision to go for lockdown, okay, whether that is right or not, that is a separate discussion. I don't go for that discussion. Okay, so this is a best example for decision making under uncertainty, under insufficient information. Okay, during March and April, since corona was a new virus, even the world was not aware. Even today, it doesn't have enough details regarding this virus, or it doesn't have proper understanding of this virus. Okay, so even during March and April, with available information, okay, so the available information was very less. With that information, they thought of going for lockdown. Okay, so otherwise they don't know, they have to make a decision. Okay, if they take risk to continue as usual, then they were also afraid of the further consequences. That's why they took a decision. they don't have much options with them, but available information is less. Also available information is less, they have to make a decision. They don't have any other alternatives. Okay, they decided to go for lockdown. Okay, as time passes, okay, many research were carried out throughout the world. We come up with additional information about the coronavirus. Okay, then throughout the world, okay, even in India also, lockdown and other restrictions were removed gradually. Okay, so because of the additional information, that additional information was, it was not possible to, okay, so overcome the problem of this pandemic with the help of lockdown. Okay, lockdown ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ, so with the help of additional information we came to know, okay, now they know they can avoid spreading virus to some extent if they go for lockdown, but the consequences already we witnessed. Because of lockdown, GDP has declined to -23% and many have lost jobs. Okay, so we know the consequences. So that's why now, so with the help of all available information regarding the status of the economy, the consequences of lockdown, so they have to make decision. Okay, so now that's why they are not going for lockdown. Instead of that, they are thinking about other ways. Okay, it may be enhancing medical infrastructure, coming up with a vaccine, and again, if the world is able to find a new vaccine for corona, then how that vaccine can be made available to all needy, that is the another challenge. Okay, so now the world is working on those challenges. That means again, it is working on coming up with a new vaccine. Then if someone is successful in coming with a effective vaccine, then how that vaccine can be made available to crores of people around the world. Okay, so these are the issues on which people are working now. Okay, this is one of the example. Like that, in design problem also, whenever you are thinking about a new product, you don't know, okay, whether that product will be accepted or not, whether it will function properly or not, but you have to proceed for designing that product. Okay, after designing, after going through some of the stages of morphology of design, you may get additional information. When you get additional information, you go for updating the design. Okay, so that is the decision making and iteration process. Okay, yeah, in our, okay, so already we watched and we heard a lot of things about corona and other things, a lot of misinformation. There are various point of views. Okay, one very interesting point of view regarding this virus was from Professor Jaiprakash Muliar. Okay, so he is one of the leading epidemiologists of our country. If you are interested to know about the viral diseases and about corona, okay, so you can watch these three interviews. Okay, one was done in April, another was done in May, another was done recently. Okay, these three you can understand. Okay, so the various aspects related to this virus. Okay, so and again, this virus is a domain which only people who are working in epidemiology, they can give suggestions. Okay, they are the experts. Not all doctors can give you suggestions about the spreading of virus, its controlling, all those things. This is a field related to epidemiologists. Okay, he is one of the leading epidemiologists. Okay, you can watch his interviews. And again, it is not the ultimate truth, since we don't have enough knowledge or enough understanding of the virus. So, but these are the convincing things. If you know what has happened from March to present, you can realize what he predicted, or his understanding of virus is better than most of others whom we quite often we hear. Okay, so later I will share these links with you. If you are interested, you can watch. Okay. So next, as we discussed, preliminary decisions are taken and the decision proceeds to subsequent stages where additional information may be available. This additional information is then used to improve and modify the preliminary decisions. Decision making plays a very crucial role in design activity. Again, at times you have to make decisions under uncertainty, and again consequences are severe in some cases. Design decisions are decisions under uncertainty and insufficient information. Uncertainty arises out of two reasons. One reason is additional information required depends upon the decision itself. Okay, if you make a decision, then only it is possible for you to additional information. If you don't make decision, you don't get additional information. Okay, so that is the problem with some of the consequences, like the present corona pandemic. Okay, due to statistically random processes. Okay, there are some processes they are statistically random in nature. So for example, you can consider problem related to traffic. Okay, so that is one of the example of statistically random process. Okay, so traffic control or flood control. Okay, now consider the traffic in Bangalore and Mangalore highway. Okay, when the traffic will be more. Okay, if you consider 7 days in a week, when traffic on Bangalore and Mangalore highway will be more?
Weekend.
Okay, and it will start from Friday evening to Monday morning. Okay, so again, can you predict the exact number of vehicles that are going to move every week and from Friday evening to Monday morning, exact number of vehicles? Is it possible to get the exact number? ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ ಹಾಸನ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ವೇಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಾ?
ಸರ್ ಟೋಲ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
Again, is it the same number every week?
No.
That is the problem. And again, during, even though on weekends you may get an average, you can predict the range, but if there are festivals and if there are link holidays, you know the consequence. Okay, so that means the values, even though you can predict a certain value, but that is not the ultimate truth. Okay, it will vary, the value get fluctuated. That is the statistically varying parameter. One example is this traffic. Okay, even though you know traffic on weekends will be more compared to other days. Okay, that is truth, but you cannot give the exact value. Okay, you can predict based on the average till now, but after 6 months or 1 year, again the value may vary. Okay, it may decline or it may increase. Okay, because of economic situation, now the number of vehicles that will travel may have declined, or because of people are afraid to use public transport, the number of vehicles may increase. We don't know. Okay, so there are many consequences. That is one example. Another example is again flood control. We don't know. On an average, we can get the rainfall for a particular location or for a particular catchment area of a reservoir. But every year it will vary. Okay, in some years there will be very heavy rainfall. Okay, it may be different from the average rainfall. Okay, again it is difficult for a civil engineer to design systems, or for people who are working on environmental aspects related to flow of water and its implications. Okay, they also cannot get the exact value of rainfall. Okay, these are some of the statistically varying parameters. Okay, as engineers, at times they have to make decisions. They don't have any other options. Okay, so this completes first unit 1 of this course. Okay, so you can answer for your attendance. Okay, so I will start second unit after taking 2 minutes break. I will take 2 minutes break, then I will start with the unit 2. Okay, you can start answering for attendance on polling.